They came before sunrise, moving like shadows through the quiet streets, their engines low, their presence heavy. Black SUVs rolled to a stop outside the home of suspended Minister Senzo Mchunu, and for a brief moment, everything was still. Then the doors opened, and armed officers stepped out, deliberate, focused, and carrying sealed evidence bags that suggested something far bigger than a routine investigation. And before we go deeper, answer this in the comments. Do you think powerful leaders should be treated the same as ordinary citizens during raids? It should have been a straightforward operation. Search warrant in hand, officers ready to uncover whatever lay behind the minister's closed doors. But not even 5 minutes passed before a sudden call shattered the momentum. Stand down, the radio crackled. Legal papers filed. Just like that, an operation months in the making hit a political wall. Tell me, would you be shocked if someone this powerful managed to stop a raid instantly? Because this wasn't just any suspect. This was a suspended minister with influence, connections, and legal firepower. Within hours, Mchunu's attorneys unleashed a strongly worded letter that could easily send shivers through any law enforcement official's spine. They accused the police of intimidation, defamation, and overreach, demanding immediate access to the warrant itself so they could challenge its legality. Imagine that, trying to search someone's house and being told to prove you even had the right to knock. But this raid didn't happen in isolation, and it wasn't an accident. The same day, law enforcement stormed not just one home but 3. Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection Shadrach Sandile found officers at his door. Cedric Mcabin's chief of staff faced a late-evening invasion by up to 20 officers who seized phones, laptops, and digital devices. Do you think 3 raids on 3 powerful people on the same day is a coincidence? These weren't random searches. These were synchronized moves in a high-stakes confrontation inside South Africa's policing system, the police investigating the police. And every step of this operation was heavy with political tension. According to insiders, Police Commissioner Fanny Masemola personally authorized these raids. This wasn't delegated. This wasn't outsourced. This came from the top. The goal? To extract electronic evidence, emails, messages, call logs, anything that could expose the truth behind explosive allegations that threaten the future of multiple high-ranking officials. And to understand why such drastic measures were taken, we must return to KwaZulu-Natal. That's where the storm truly began. Lieutenant General Mamani Ngobeni, the KZN police commissioner, lit the fuse earlier this year when he accused senior officials and politicians of interfering with investigations, protecting criminal networks, and working with individuals linked to political killings. If you've followed SA politics for years, does any part of this actually shock you anymore? Ngobeni's statements did more than expose whispers. They sparked 2 massive inquiries, one by the Madlenga Commission and one by Parliament's own ad hoc committee. Both are digging into allegations of political manipulation, corruption, and coordinated efforts to derail investigations. And standing right at the center of these allegations is Senzo Mchunu. For months, rumors have circulated. Was he using his influence to undermine investigators? Was he involved in efforts to weaken or shut down the task team focusing on political killings in KZN? And if so, why? What was at stake? Brigadier William Kuna, a top investigator, told his superiors something startling. Mchunu, Sabia, and 2 businessmen, Vizimuzi, Kat, Matlala, and Becky Magagula, were working together behind the scenes to shut down the political killings task team. A task team that had come dangerously close to uncovering something very big. Devices seized from Matlala reportedly contained messages showing coordination. One message said Mchunu and Sabia were meeting to find a solution. Another one was even more chilling. The task team is being dissolved. They are bringing all dockets to Sabia. Tell me in the comments, if this is true, who do you think was meant to be protected? The task team in question wasn't just investigating petty crimes. They were hunting the networks responsible for assassinations, political assassinations in KwaZulu-Natal. For years, KZN has been described as a political killing field, and shutting down the unit that investigates those killings raises deep, unsettling questions. But the story gets darker. Investigators believe the task team was closing in on the connections between politics, money, and hitmen. That's why shutting it down would benefit certain powerful individuals. And if those same individuals were involved in dismantling it, the implications are massive. So when officers arrived at Mchunu's house, they weren't just looking for random files. They were hunting for digital fingerprints of interference, call logs, WhatsApp chats, emails. Information that could tie influential men to sabotaged investigations. But thanks to the legal pushback, the raid didn't happen. Not fully. Not yet. Was it a strategic delay? Or was it a successful act of self-preservation? This tug-of-war between law enforcement and political power is becoming a dangerous pattern in South Africa. The police are supposed to protect the country, yet at the highest levels, they are fighting each other, accusing each other, raiding each other's homes. How can the public trust a system turning against itself? The possibility that senior officials interfered in investigations into assassinations is alarming. And when raids are halted at the last minute, people start asking questions. Is the truth being protected or being hidden? The public deserves answers, yet the battle now moves into courtrooms and commissions, places where political muscle often outweighs the facts. If these allegations are proven true, South Africa may be forced to confront one of the biggest internal policing scandals in years. If they're false, then someone is orchestrating a campaign to destroy careers at the highest level of the SAPS. But one thing is clear, this story is not going away. More raids could follow. More evidence may surface. More names might be dragged into the light. And the public will be watching closely, because the future of the country's policing integrity could depend on what happens next. Before this video ends, I want your opinions, real opinions. Should raids like this be allowed to continue even if powerful leaders resist? If evidence is found on those seized devices, should it be made public? And most importantly, do you think South Africa's police service can ever truly be free from political interference? Because the deeper this investigation goes, the more it seems that the real battle for justice is happening behind closed doors, in the places where power, fear, and the truth collide.